Hi, I'm Ariel Cohen with the Flat Hat, here with senior Melanie Levine for That Girl. Now, you might know Melanie as the Vice President of the Student Assembly, but she's actually worn a lot of hats during her time here at William & Mary. So, Melanie, can you tell us what you've been up to recently?
Yeah, definitely. It's been a really busy year so far. I came on as an OA in Dinwiddie at the beginning of last semester, and since then I've been doing a lot of student assembly work, also part of sorority Pi Phi, and I've done a lot with OCES, the Office of Community Engagement and Scholarship.
And now, I know you've done a lot of community engagement and community service during your time here on campus, so can you tell us about some of your memorable experiences?
Yeah, definitely. I've gone on a lot of service trips with OCE. My freshman year I went to Cincinnati, Ohio, and did a trip that focused on hunger and homelessness. And then I led a trip my junior year to Philadelphia that focused on labor rights issues. But probably the best experience of service through William & Mary was my South Africa study abroad during the summer after my sophomore year. And we did a lot of work with impoverished communities in the townships outside of Cape Town. That was probably one of the best experiences.
Wow, it sounds like you've done a lot of service during your time here at the college. So can you tell us some stories about your time in Cape Town?
Yeah, I mean, Cape Town was excellent. There were 8 of us on the trip, so we definitely got really close, just adventuring around the city. We went shark diving and we went hiking. We even signed up for a yoga class that we went to for a lot of our time there, a hot yoga class. And we really enjoyed working with the kids and teaching them English and math. And at the end of the summer, we actually put on a big show with all the kids, and they were dancing to American music and singing, and that was probably one of the highlights of my time there.
Wow, that sounds really great.
Yes.
So you were mentioning that you were an OA this past year, and it was your first time being an OA as a senior. How was that experience for you?
It was really interesting going through the interview process because I was friends with a lot of the people that were doing the hiring, and kind of knew what the expectations were about being an OA, and I had really awesome OAs myself that really inspired me my freshman year. So I knew what went into that, and I was excited to see the fresh faces, and it was a cool experience going into it as a senior, and having done a lot on campus, and I could talk about all of those experiences with the girls that were on my hall, and I think they had an awesome orientation. I certainly did. It was great to relive it my senior year.
Yeah, that's great. So how do you think that you yourself have changed since freshman year, and did you notice any of that when you were orienting with freshmen?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I came in as a freshman and knowing no one. I'm from Los Angeles, California, so to move across the country to a school where I didn't know a single person was definitely an intimidating experience. So being an OA, I could come in with having experienced that and really understanding where a lot of the girls were coming from. So I came in knowing no one and was just really excited about this new adventure in my life. Signed up for a million activities, took quite a few leadership roles from early on, and I think through those roles and a lot of the trips that I've been able to experience to Philly, Cincinnati, and South Africa, I've really just become more in tune with what I'm interested in with my role as a leader on campus and outside of campus, and just really learned more about myself than I think I knew before coming to college, found myself, so to speak.
That's fantastic. So what advice would you give to, underclassmen who are looking to sort of find themselves at college, maybe a leadership role?
Yeah, I mean, I would say just take risks. Now's the time. We're young, we don't really have much to lose, we only have things to gain. So put yourself out there, meet a lot of people, because there's a lot to learn from different people at this school who come from so many different backgrounds and have had a lot of different experiences. So just don't hold back. Join a lot of things, meet a lot of people, run for positions if you think you do a really good job at them. Don't doubt yourself. And I think that's the way to go here at William & Mary.
Yes. So now just sort of as a final question, after your 4 years on campus, what would you say is your favorite spot on campus and why?
My favorite spot on campus is probably, so hard. I mean, I would say the grind. I think anyone that knows me well knows that that's pretty much where I live if I'm not, in my room or in class. I spend a lot of time there love the coffee, love the company. It's just a really relaxed atmosphere, and I feel very at home. Love the time.
That's great. Well, it seems like you've really found your home at William & Mary.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much, Melanie.
Thanks.
And if you have anybody you'd like to see on that guy, email the Fun Hat online.